Alright, 3, 2, 1, and we're up and running. So, right, first things first, yes, we're not on YouTube at the moment. Apparently there's some technical difficulties. We're sorry. I'll be re-uploading this on YouTube. 2, 1. I've just realised I've got my Twitch fucking stream up, so my fucking voice came back through.
That's always fun.
It's always fun, yeah. Fucking irritating. So yes, we'll be re-uploading that on YouTube for people that do watch it on YouTube or want to re-watch the old stream. But yes, we're back. I've got a new co-host with me for today. His name's Primus. Hello, Primus.
Yeah, g'day.
You'll never be me.
Oh,
Never be me.
Oh,
Never be me.
Oh, he's fucking here for once, and he's gone. Oh, and he's gone. What the? Oh. You saying Vesp or?
Sorry. Hey. So I didn't even know you guys were doing the stream today. I thought you guys were like gonna honour no two people rule.
Oh no! If I can get two people, I get two people, man. So I haven't been messaging you because I know you've been busy. The time frame's been a bit hard because I've had to do spur of the moment streams, so it's been a bit hard. So I understand.
No, like, I didn't even know you guys. I don't know.
Well, good. Well,
yeah.
Primus, this is my other co-host, Vesp. He's our main other regular on the podcast.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Right. So, how has everyone been this last sort of? Well, for me, it's been 3 weeks. But how's you guys' weeks been?
I don't know. The world's ending, dude.
World's ending.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much fucking.
We're all fucked. We're all gonna die.
Fucking. Well, we'll get to that whole Corona shit soon because that's a big topic for this week. Because the last 3 weeks, I should say, there's like a lot of stuff's been happening because of the coronavirus and stuff like that. But we'll get into our first article in a second. I've been playing a lot of Div 2 as well again, which has been interesting to say the least. So we've got some patch notes stuff like that I'd like to go over. Series I've been playing
the
the
guys
game.
were like, come play Vesp. And I'm like, okay, I'll come play. Download the update, all 60 gigs of it, get in. Hey, we'd like you to pay $50 to play this update. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no. God. Yeah, you haven't played the Division 2 yet, have you, Primus?
I haven't played any of the divisions.
Haven't you?
No, it just doesn't interest me.
No, that's probably best to stay away from some of the cancer that goes on with the Division. Dear, it's a great game, but sometimes the community can be a bit too much. Sometimes.
Oh, that's like that with any game, though, isn't it?
True. Same with DayZ at the moment. DayZ's been getting pretty fucking bad.
All the people in quarantine, dude. Everybody's not allowed to go outside of playing games. All the chads are now playing games.
The chads. Fucking, yeah, so, interesting tidbit with me, now that I've got both of you here, I was working with a terrorist.
You're working with a terrorist? What?
Yeah, a guy I was working with got arrested for terror charges.
Really?
Yeah! It's pretty interesting. So,
Tell us more.
Yeah, I can't go more into detail because I don't want to get fired, but... well,
Dude, I don't think you'll get fired. It's the Corona-19. You're doing night fill, aren't you? You're required. You're an essential service to this nation. You can't be fired.
Yeah, I know. Bucket shelf packers are very essential now, surprisingly. But
You have pandemic immunity.
Yeah, pandemic immunity. That's it. I don't know for how long though. Apparently this guy's brother was because I'm in produce now. I'll do fruit and veg now. This is the 2IC fruit and veg manager. His brother was originally caught. He was caught with guns, all sorts of stuff in his in his house, and all sorts of stuff. They found homemade bombs and stuff like that, and things to make more bombs. Plans to blow up the power station near here.
Aren't weapons pretty hard to come by over there these days?
Very hard. So a lot of people are wondering how the fuck he got them. I'm very much wondering how he got them, and I'm wondering the exact same too. But yeah, the brother.
Take a moment before you say that. I'm at the girlfriend's at the moment. She's in the bath. I'm watching TV, and they just had the New York mayor on television, and he's got a fucking advertisement for Dunkin' Donuts on his desk.
God. Quickly finishing my story though. He turned around and and he got arrested. Was it a couple of days later? The guy I worked with, the brother, he found knives and they found detonators in his car. So yeah, he's been done too. So been interesting to say the least. So yes, and I've also too been playing. As I've been playing Div 2, been playing a little bit of DayZ, not as much as I'd like to be. I think our faction Primus is sort of on another fucking hiatus again, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, we're mainly sick of the grind, I think, eh?
Yeah, we've tried different servers before, but it's been a bit hard. What else? And I've started playing Doom Eternal, which I've got to finish. I know, I've got to finish Doom Eternal, so I can talk more about it. But so far, I've been thoroughly fucking enjoying it. But anyway, we'll go into our first article of the week. I just wanted to sort of go over the PlayStation 5 specs that were revealed this week, and we'll try and also compare the PlayStation 5 specs with the Xbox specs. Now, I'm a little worried, to say the least, because from the sound of things...
You're worried about the world's ending and you're worried about what has the better specs, really?
Well, no, it's...
Priorities, man.
Yeah, priorities, yeah. Priorities, Vesp. But,
yeah, sorry, when all of us have got, secure jobs in the Woolworths industry.
Sorry. Yes, alright. The thing I'm worried about is that when they were doing
I don't think people are going to be able to buy the new consoles at this rate.
Probably not, because they all are made in China. Despite the PlayStation being made in Japan, so... Were you saying something, Primus?
I said nothing.
I must have been Vest trying to say something but cut out. The thing I was worried about was because they were going on in their deep dive video, which was the other day. They were going on about how they've been struggling with the SSD. And struggling. And by the sounds of things...
Struggling how? Like fitting it in or choosing the right one?
Choosing the right one, really, because they've got to get a specific SSD to run the games the specific way they want them to. And they've been struggling a lot with a lot of the other components and stuff like that they've got in the console. And the other problem is too, is you look at even just their internal storage. Their internal storage is 825 gigabytes. Their previous model was a terabyte.
Well, not originally. Dude. It was like 500 gigs at first. Then a terabyte came out afterwards.
Well,
those are mechanical drives, though, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, they're mechanical, not SSD.
That is true, yes.
And I'm sure they'll support USB 3 or USB-C or whatever dongle USB connection.
Yeah, well, obviously the PlayStation, and they did say that it will have... you will be able to put another SSD if you wanted to, or another mechanical hard drive, like external hard drive if you wanted to as well, or internal. They're giving that flexibility like they have with the last two generations of consoles, which I'm fine with. And I think it's alright, but because now games are starting to get more progressively bigger and like size and stuff like that, like a base even 825 gigabytes, even just as an SSD, is not enough.
How much is it's going to be eaten up by the operating system as well?
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying, that it could be a terabyte, but that's what's left. But I don't think that that's the case. So, yes. But going over the specs that we have right now, their CPU is an 8X Zen 2 cores at 3.5 gigahertz, variable frequency. The GPU is a 10.28 teraflops, which means nothing. 36 CUs and 2.23 gigahertz. Variable frequency.
That's again. The teraflops is talking about the graphics, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know why they just can't go core and memory clock and just put it on par with a computer.
Yeah,
because they'll be caught out for using subpar equipment.
I don't know. GPU architecture is custom RDNA 2. Memory interface is 16 gigabytes GDDR6, 256-bit. Memory bandwidth is 448 gigabits per second. Internal storage, again, 825 gigabyte SSD. I/O throughput, 5.5 gigabytes. Typical 8 to 9 gigabits per second compressed. Expandable storage, NVMe SSD slot. External storage, eUSB HDD support. Optical drive, 4K UHD Blu-ray drive. So that's...
Yeah, they're putting them in. That's good.
Well, yeah, I kind of got it, because there still is a market for... Well, there is still a market for physical games. There just is. I still buy physical games.
Like, unless you've got fiber to the premises half the time, if you're still on like ADSL for a little while for the next year, you still won't be able to download those massive games.
Which is like 90% of Australia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's because when it comes to the reason why us Australians, I don't know about New Zealand, like for you, but like for us, our internet is just trash. It just is. We originally had a great scheme that was going to come in that actually would have been fixed, but they scrapped it, and they've done a half-assed job that ended up being just utter trash. So, not 100% sure where they're going to go with that. But I do have now the comparison up here. So, now we said that the PlayStation 5 was going to be running at 3.5 gigahertz 8-core for their processor, but the Xbox Series X is running a 3.8 gigahertz 8-core processor, which makes me so that's in from a perspective, their processor is going to be faster and better for the most part. Their GPU, they're running 2.828 teraflops, and the Xbox is running 12 teraflops, which is more again. The RAM memory is exactly the same. The storage is shorter, again, smaller on the PlayStation 5 than it is on the Xbox Series X. They both have the exact same Blu-ray drive. They both are 4 and 8K support, and both HDR support. Ports, they haven't announced their thumb drive ports, but I kind of gather because you're able to do external hard drives that they will have ports, obviously, and as well as to charge the controllers as well. They will. They'll probably pull in like 2 in the front, 2 in the back, like they usually do with the Xbox. The Xbox having 3 in total. The 3.0 ports, which again, it's fine. The weight, obviously, to be announced. The dimensions, the Xbox is the only one that's announced what their console looks like. So, what are your opinions on those specs, boys? Because I want opinions. Because I personally think the Xbox is actually going to outperform the PlayStation by the looks of things.
I mean, the specs for the Xbox are definitely better. I mean, like, what was it? A 10 to 12. The difference, so 10 on the PlayStation, 12 on the Xbox One for the graphics. At the end of the day, with most games, how much of a difference is that really going to make, though?
Depending when it comes to more you won't see it now, I'm guessing, but you'll probably see it more to the end of the console's life, when game companies are actually trying to stress and push those like cores. So
I think it'll also become more evident where where you get the exclusive titles that are on a particular system, whereas those ones will be pushing those GPUs to the max. Whereas, say, DayZ, for example, which runs on both or could run on both, how much optimization are they going to do to? At the end of the day, how much is that GPU going to matter with the shared titles as opposed to the exclusives?
Well, that's exactly right. But the thing is, I know a lot of people have been making the argument that PlayStation still has a lot more exclusive titles, which, yes, they are completely right at the moment. But I'm not 100% sure what it's going to be like with this next gen of consoles, because now Xbox has bought out, was it like 2 years ago, bought out 6 game companies, big notable game companies too, to make like games exclusively for the Xbox and the PC. So I have a funny feeling that the Xbox are now trying to go ahead with more exclusive titles, and hopefully the exclusive titles they do bring in are like massive hits and console sellers. Because at the moment, the Xbox One X only has Gears of War and Halo.
Yeah.
And like, don't be wrong, Gears of War and Halo are system sellers on their own. Like, don't get me wrong. But now that they have their deal, which sucks for me, because I still like owning every console, really, that comes out. But for me, if they're going to still do the same business models they're doing currently now, where all exclusives go to PC, there's no need for me to buy a Series X. I might as well stick and upgrade my PC and play them all on PC. This is where the problem is with the exclusive stuff. Now, Xbox have done a really good thing by doing that, but also shot themselves in the foot in the same process, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was like, going back to the whole exclusive thing, that was the entire reason why I bought the PlayStation 3. Burnout Paradise was not on the Xbox at this stage, and it sold me the console, but it was the only game I really liked on that console.
Yeah.
The problem I found with the exclusives is, that, as you said, they are system sellers, but it's a hell of a lot of money if there's only a couple of exclusives on it that you really want to play.
Yes, indeed. When it comes down to as a whole, when you look at the specs, right? The specs are definitely in the Xbox's favor. But as I sort of said, and I think you probably would agree too, and as well as too as what you said too, when it comes to their exclusives will be pushing that power, but the third-party titles that are on both consoles won't, which is obviously true. But I think the only way we're ever going to actually see the differences between the games is till we actually start seeing the exclusives and what they look like graphical-wise on the two different consoles. So, yeah. But then again, lately there has been like people, they do, like with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, they do show the graphic comparisons because the graphics are very different with both consoles. And at the moment, with the Xbox's the One X their special like Pro version of their console has better graphics output and does look a lot nicer than it does on the PlayStation 4 Pro. So as I said, it's going to be one thing that I'm going to be interested to see when we get more information on it, which I don't think we will till maybe the end of the year, because seeing as though no one's going to be able to actually buy the consoles because of the coronavirus stuff, I don't think we'll be able to actually see a lot of the stuff that's going to be happening.
Yeah, I think the main difference between the two consoles that's really going to put them apart is really going to be the quality of the games that are developed for those particular systems. I mean, you can have a banging GPU and run crap code on it, and it'll run like crap regardless. And a lot of reviews we're going to see early on are going to be for games that might not have been fully optimized for these systems. Going back to the whole exclusives things, yes, we're going, with those ones where they're built for the system. With those sort of games, we're going to be able to sort of see differences between them. But the Xbox is clearly the better spec in this case. Yeah,
of course it is. But the only thing I'm worried about at the moment is Xbox Series X has kind of already admitted that pretty much all previous model consoles are going to have backwards compatibility. PlayStation 4 Sony's only announced the PlayStation 5 will be only going back to PlayStation 4. Now,
that sounds about right, because the PlayStation 4 didn't have compatibility with PlayStation 3, did it?
No, it didn't.
Or the PlayStation 2, for that matter.
They only started re-releasing games on the PlayStation 4, and it wasn't crash hot. Like, the only thing they did with the Xbox was that if you put the game in the Xbox, what it did was it just you had to download the game, which I was fine with. I think that's it.
That's perfectly fine. If they got a copy of it that is being recompiled for that, yeah, That's fine.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, in my honest opinion. Like, you still need to use the disc to play the game, but, like, to obviously for piracy reasons and stuff like that, so you don't just lend your disc to someone, they download the game and play it.
Yeah.
So it's just downloads all the files, so it runs a lot better, the graphics are better and stuff like that, and I think it was a great idea, and I think the PlayStation 5 should do the same thing, but they haven't. And honestly, I am a little disappointed because I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity.
I thought they would have learned from that by now, because that was a massive, it wasn't really an uproar, but it pissed off a lot of people, myself included. Like when I bought the PlayStation 3, I couldn't play any of my PlayStation 2 games on it. I can play my PlayStation 1 games, which I didn't really care about anymore. But, I wanted to play my PlayStation 2 games on it, and it wasn't backwards compatible.
The original version of PlayStation 3, you could, like the original 60-gig version, which I have, you can play PlayStation 2 games on it. But the ones that came out afterwards, no.
I must have got a later revision then. I did have a fat one, but it wouldn't play PlayStation 2.
I used to play PlayStation 2. I was able to play Black on it. You remember like the original PlayStation 2 game Black?
I don't know that particular title. I know of Twisted Metal Black, but
oh yeah, no, I remember that one.
No, I don't know Black.
Yeah, Black was it was a first-person shooter. Yeah, I was able to get it to work on my PlayStation, 60-gig PlayStation. But the later versions, I wasn't able to play that. I was only able to play PlayStation 1 games, which did kind of suck. But then again, see, the only problem with the PlayStation 3 when it came out was it wasn't user-friendly. Like, sure, you didn't have to pay for online play, which was a massive bonus. I thought it was a great idea that you didn't have to pay to play.
That was one of the selling points for the PlayStation 3 is you didn't have to pay a subscription to be able to play online.
Yeah, definitely. And I thought it was a great business model, and I wish they stuck with it, but they didn't. They went to the whole Xbox thing. The thing is, for me, is I think Xbox did a better service. You were able to chat to people in a private chat and play games. See, on the PlayStation 3, you couldn't. You couldn't do that. You had to chat to them in-game, and it was kind of... It didn't feel right. So on PC, again, we're able to go on Discord and play a game. Like, we're able to go TeamSpeak and play a game, or Skype, for instance.
Exactly.
Which no one uses Skype anymore. Like, I've stopped using Skype ever since TeamSpeak was invented, and then Discord was invented, and I never touched any of them. But... for me, when it comes to this, I think what they need to do as well is PlayStation, Xbox, now that, a lot of cross-platform players starting to come into play with it, a lot of new games now, like third-party titles, I personally think they need a third-party fucking chatting service, which Discord could provide. Like having Discord be that third party on your console that you can use to talk to people and talk to friends and stuff like that. Like Fortnite, for instance, which is cross-platform play. You can use Discord on your PlayStation to chat to someone from Xbox, for instance. And you can join into their games and stuff like that. Or same as Call of Duty. That's cross-platform play too, where you're able to play with people on Xbox and PlayStation and PC. So if you had Discord, which is universally used, even by some PlayStation 4 and Xbox One users, even though they don't have it on their console, it's a perfect thing to use as a third-party streaming, like a chatting service that both companies could pay Discord for, right, to use the rights of on their consoles, which I think would be a perfect idea, just hands down.
These consoles have app stores, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I wouldn't be surprised if Discord themselves actually didn't make their own app to throw on there. Oh
yeah, or even that, and it integrated into the service. So yeah, something like that. So personally, I think that would be a fucking phenomenal idea, and I think it'd be an awesome idea. Personally, I think if the PlayStation and the Xbox went with the model where you don't have to pay to play online, but if you wanted the extras like the free games every month or stuff like that, you should be able to. Then you pay for that. So have it like a Humble Bundle monthly service, really. So so you pay a smaller fee for free games every month, right? And I think a lot of people would actually be down for that. And then put more games in that lineup that you can own for free, like every month. So I think that would be a really, really cool and awesome idea, but it's up to the companies. I don't know. They probably will still ask people to pay to play games online. And as well, so I think the only reason why the PlayStation 5 did so well this generation is for the simple fact that they ended up perfecting that, user-friendly basis when it came to online play with friends and being able to be in a party, like chat while playing, private party chat while playing games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, I think we've talked about everything we need to on that front. Yes, so Valve elaborates on early Left 4 Dead 3 rumors, Portal VR ideas, and IGN Unfiltered. Rumors suggest Valve was working on Left 4 Dead 3, but devs have elaborated saying the studio was never seriously working on a third entry for the beloved zombie series, and the leaked renders were more of a tech test while developing a new engine. I kind of gathered because of Half-Life Alyx, they wanted to test it all out and stuff like that. And this month's episode of IGN Unfiltered, blah, 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 blah. Fucking, who cares about IGN? The official Valve statement on the Left 4 Dead 3 rumors said, we did briefly explore some Left 4 Dead next-gen opportunities a few years ago, but we are absolutely not working on anything Left 4 Dead related now, and haven't for years. What the team at Valve was experimenting with the Source 2, and Valve's Robin Walker explained how it happened. We used parts of a Left 4 Dead level as a first bit of level geometry to start building in Source 2, so a bit of that got out. It was essentially a rendering test, and people thought that meant we were working on Left 4 Dead.
A bit like that happened with the Deadpool movie about 8 years before it actually came out.
That's true.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah. I remember that test footage when it came out. It was all animated. It was an animated too.
Yeah, it was fully rendered and proper part you'd expect from the movie.
Well, again, scene for scene, that was from the movie. Well, they put it in the movie as well.
Yeah, they changed it a bit. They reshot most of it, but it was it was the same sort of thing. It leaked out, and people sort of went, "Oh, this is happening." Yeah,
this was pretty good. Like, we quite liked what we fucking saw, pretty much. It actually looked really, really good for like on the scale of things. I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people have been very happy, and like Half-Life Alyx has just outright just blown the internet skyward, like out of the water. Apparently, Half-Life Alyx is apparently extremely amazing, and a lot of people apparently it's now, like, a lot of people are saying it's now this game is 100% a VR seller. So it's pretty much if you want to if you buy, a lot of people are saying if you buy a VR headset, this is the game you have to buy. Like, it's a must buy and must have now for VR headsets, and a lot of people are saying that it's really, really good. I don't know anything that happens to the story. I know it's blasphemy to say as a gamer, but I've only played Half-Lives. I haven't finished the Half-Life games. I know it's blasphemous. I know.
I haven't finished episode 1 yet.
I haven't. I need to sit down and I need to really sink my teeth into both Half-Life games and really play through both of them. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy what I've played of them so far. I just haven't come around to really just putting all my time and effort into playing and finishing them. Like, both
of them? There's 4 of them, mate.
4 of them?
Yeah, you got Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2, and then you've got the Episode 1 and Episode 2, which follow on from Half-Life 2.
True. But then again, as well, if you buy Half-Life 2 now, you get the other 2 episodes with it anyway, so...
Oh, do you? Nice.
Yeah, you get it all together anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Way back when.
Way back when. Yeah, back when the game was only like half done, and then they released the other half.
Pretty much, yeah.
That was Valve's fucking business model back then.
Didn't it?
Well, yeah, it worked. Yeah, 'cause a lot of people fucking loved it. But yeah, like, honestly, I don't think Left 4 Dead's dead. Pun intended. I don't think it's dead. Honestly, I think now this is done really well. I personally think that we're going to get a Left 4 Dead 3, but I don't think we're going to get Left 4 Dead like without VR. I think it's because I think Valve's now pushing this VR market. They've been pushing it for the last couple of years.
I think that's a fairly accurate assessment, yeah.
They've been really, really pushing it. A lot of people said that, and I kind of agree, that if Half-Life Alyx didn't do well, like, at all, or it did well critically, and people loved it, but a lot of people didn't buy buy systems and stuff like that to play it because it was too much, they were going to abandon Half-Life altogether. That was pretty much what they were probably going to do. It's like, well, if you're not going to have Half-Life and VR, we're not going to do another one.
And that would have been an absolute tragedy as well, because the Half-Life series is absolutely just phenomenal.
Oh god, yeah! Like you like pretty much every person that's a PC gamer is, well, 90% of PC gamers are Half-Life fanboys.
Yeah. I mean, we've all. That's where Counter-Strike pretty much originated from.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, if we didn't have Half-Life, we wouldn't have had Counter-Strike. So, but when it comes down to it in the end, now, it's good to see that it's done so well, so I kind of gather that we are probably going to get a Half-Life 3 now. By the sounds of things, a lot of the rumours are going around. Half-Life Alyx did have something there that we are going to get either a Half-Life 2 Episode 3, or we're going to get just a flat-out Half-Life 3, by the sounds of things. So, that's good for that for the mindset, but I think we are going to get a Left 4 Dead 3 at some point, but we're not going to get it as like just a normal, just keyboard and mouse game. I think we're going to get a VR version of Left 4 Dead 3. But I don't know how that will go.
Which is a shame, because if you're, I'm a big fan of I actually quite like most stuff that Valve put out. If they start moving like all their games to VR, VR is just, unfortunately, still far too expensive for the average consumer. So unfortunately, a lot of people are probably going to have to experience this through Let's Players as opposed to playing it themselves.
Yeah, I think they should do it, because seeing as though that people are buying their VR headsets to play the game initially, why don't they just relieve Half-Life Alyx as just a normal like keyboard and mouse game like in a year's time?
Yeah, well, there is that.
Yeah, because it's like, well, you guys like the VR version, here's something for the people that don't want to buy it. It's like, you've already got the money, you've already got the fucking people that wanted it, and now you're like, oh, here you go, here's another way for people to buy it. Here you go, here's the people that didn't have a VR headset, and make a lot more money, and then go, right, now let's do the same thing with Half-Life 3, let's do the same thing with Left 4 Dead 3, and then again, sell more fucking VR units, sell more fucking copies of the game, like initially, because of the fucking people want to play the game straight up, even with VR, and then wait for it to wait a year and go, okay, here you go, here's the keyboard and mouse version.
Yeah. Well, the hardcore fans are going to buy it, within that first year, because, hey, new Half-Life, I've got to play this.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, 100%. It's one of those things that a lot of people just pretty much outright just like, yep, definitely. Well, I've got a mate of mine that's a massive Half-Life fan, but he's just like, look, I just simply can't afford a VR headset.
I'm the exact same boat.
Yeah, and like after me seeing the gameplay for Alyx, I've been desperately wanting to play it now.
Yeah, love to own one, just can't afford it, and especially with what's going on with the economy right now, probably not going to happen anytime soon either. No,
and like this coronavirus stuff has really, really put a strain on that sort of stuff. How's it going, Binger? And thank you for the 10 bits. Cheers. That's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, Binger.
Not bloody Binger.
Not Binger. Oh, I know, right? It's Binger. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so sticking with the Valve news, we'll go to Gabe New, where we're probably closer to the Matrix than people realise. Now, this is I think will be our funny sort of like talking piece. talking piece for us to talk about. Yes, when it comes down to this, we'll read the article and we'll have a quick look at it. Alright, let's read the article. While his studio makes Half-Life Alyx, Valve co-founder Gabe Newell has been working on something a little more future-forward, brain-computer interface research, and says, "We're way closer to the Matrix than people realise," in an interview with Ryan McAfee for IGN First. Yeah, fuck, alright. Newell was asked what a typical day looks like for one of the most influential men in gaming. Newell's answer centered on the fact that he prefers to avoid having a typical day, but said, "The area I'm spending a lot of time on has been growing out of a bunch of research that occurred a while ago on brain-computer interfaces." And I think that's kind of long lead stuff. So that's the kind of background thread that I get pulled back into when other things aren't demanding my attention. Later in the interview, Newell returned to the idea as it pertains to the opportunities that Valve was in front of to change the medium of gaming, and it's trying to do with Half-Life Alyx and VR. And he led with a bold statement: "We're way closer to the Matrix than people realise. It's not going to be the Matrix. The Matrix is a movie, and it misses all the interesting technical subtleties." And just how weird the post-brain computer interface world is going to be. But it's going to have a huge impact in the kinds of experiences that we can create for people. Brain-computer interface tech, the practice of connecting the human brain to a device to allow for control of one over the other, has come a long way in recent years, with researchers now able to facilitate brain-based control over tablets. Newell didn't make it clear exactly what his work centered on, but it's clearly in the formative stages. I think it's one of the things that for God's sake, doing two wheres is fucking irritating me. Where we're going to learn a lot as we progress. There'll be some things that'll turn out to be ridiculously hard, and other things that'll turn out to be ridiculously easy. Like, I think connecting to people's motor cortex and visual cortex is going to be way easier than people expected. Reading and writing to somebody's motor cortex is much more of a tractable problem than making people feel cold, and you never would have guessed that. I never would have guessed that until going into it, but it turns out that your brain has really good interfaces for some things, and really badly designed clunky interfaces for doing other things. Hi Fonzie, how is it going in the chat? And Fonzie used 5 bits. Thank you very much, big fella. So, what are your theories on that, Mr. Primus?
Well, he's not wrong. I don't think we're far off. Neural interfaces. Being able to control your games and stuff with your mind. I mean, they're doing that sort of crap with prosthetics now, aren't they? No, are they doing that with prosthetics? Or are they?
Yeah. The prosthetics have now become like leaps and bounds. Something like we never would have would be straight out of a sci-fi movie, really.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's overly too far away. Going on the kind of speed that the prosthetics industry is moving at. Most of it is just cracking that that impulse thing, trying to get making sure that one can read the other correctly. As long as it's that way and not the other way around, we should be fine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, for me, it's like it's a great idea because some of these stuff that he's talking about is like would help people that struggle to do certain things in life. That would help them out tremendously. I think it'd be interesting to see where things will go in the future. So I wouldn't say something like Cyberpunk esque sort of stuff. But I would probably see it more in the vein of, how do I put it? Like, again, like prosthetics, helping people learn to read and write again, or people that can't speak be able to speak, through a computer, like Stephen Hawking, for instance. But probably more advanced in that category, being able to process and be able to say things quicker than quicker than we think. Like a normal person sort of talks and speaks and stuff. I think
it could also be bad too. Let's use we'll go back to the Discord example. Chatting in games or whatever and stuff. If it was a neural interface, you'd need some way of knowing. Of when you're actually wanting to say something to someone, or when you're actually just thinking something in your head, like your mate might have done a really stupid play and got him sick killed, and you go, good luck next time, mate. While you're sitting there thinking, you fucking idiot.
That's right. You sit there. So it's all right. Well, we'll do better next time. In your head, sitting there going, "You fucking cockhead! Why the fuck did you make that play? My God!"
Exactly. So they've definitely got their work cut out for them for even just examples like that. It is a very interesting technology though, because can you imagine it? We've got VR at the moment, which makes you feel like you're doing something or you're somewhere. But at the same time, you can feel the controllers in your hand, you can feel the headset on your head, that sort of stuff. Whereas with a neural interface, you'd have that sort of stuff in being put in your head as if you were there, so you wouldn't feel these controllers and this headset and stuff. You'd see what you're supposed to be seeing. All I can really say on that is I wouldn't play DayZ on this for sure.
Well, yeah. Well, imagine playing fucking DayZ in like a or just any sort of
yourself all the time. You'd be literally shitting yourself all the time because when a bullet flies past you, you'd actually probably fear for your life generally because it would seem so real.
Yeah, we'll also see what people's aim's really like. But I think also too, you're gonna have that thought in the back of your mind, and fuck you, Fonzie, I read that. He what was it? I just fucking had it and I've now lost it. Obviously, the whole cybernet fucking the Skynet fucking shit. It's like oh shit.
That's only really a problem when we're fucking around with AI, though. I mean, if these neural interfaces were just those neural interfaces, I think it would be perfectly fine. If you start introducing AI into the issue, into the persuasion, into the situation, then you do actually physically get Matrix style shit where these computers can beam shit into your head and you think it's real when really they're using you as a battery.
Well, that's the other issue too. What happens if you need these prosthetics and stuff like that, or these computer interfaces and stuff like that in your brain to actually help your brain develop or help your brain live? What happens if something happens? Like something bad happens, like it short circuits, or something drastic happens to that prosthetic. What would happen?
I'd say by the time that we get to that particular point, because this is fairly heavy tech, that I would imagine they'd have to have some pretty hefty tech in the way of medical before they could even go there. So what if something goes wrong? Well, they'll need to have those contingencies in place to get this thing out of someone's head or replace it or repair it quickly, assuming it goes in your head.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It'd be a spinal thing for all we know.
Well, that's it. You wouldn't know specifically how bad it will be. But anyway, let's go on to the main topics of this last 3 weeks that I haven't been doing this. Is pretty much everything's been cancelled because of the fucking coronavirus. So E3 has been cancelled. What else? Let me pull up something else. The Uncharted movie that was in production, that has been that's been delayed because of the coronavirus. What else? The Sonic the Hedgehog movie is getting an early release. That's a good sign because of the coronavirus thing. So it's going to be on digital release. And
kids,
yeah. So those are some of the stuff that's been going on with the whole sort of, coronavirus stuff. Now, I have a theory what they're going to be... Like, E3 is still going to go ahead, my honest opinion. But obviously we're not going to have our big conference. Like, with like big, open conferences with lots of people in the venues and stuff like that. We're obviously not going to have that. But I think what they're going to be doing is what some of the companies have been doing, which is just doing standard, like, pre-recorded conferences. Like, with just showing off games and stuff like that in a room. They just... A couple of people just talk about stuff in that little room, and they just show stuff, and then that's it.
Yeah, that sounds logical.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to be moving on towards when E3's on. I don't think it's going to be specifically canned. They said that they have delayed it to another day. Another time, but I don't think they will end up doing that. I think they might just keep the days that they've got on originally, and then just do all video conferences. I think PlayStation will be announcing their console at E3. I think. I'm not 100% sure. What's your opinion on all of it?
That does sound like that sounds like likelihood. I don't know why they just don't push it back to later on in the year, though. I mean, once we sort of got more of a handle on what's going to happen with this this pandemic. I'm pretty sure. I don't even know, like, when a person recovers from this, are they even still infectious? So I mean, we don't even know how long this kind of crap's gonna continue for. So I guess that is grounds for cancelling it outright and I don't know, doing some pre-recorded stuff. The only problem I actually can see where that would be an issue. E3 is a paid-for conference. You pay to get in and stuff like that. They're going to have to make, if they want to do, as you've suggested they might do, they're going to have to, do some way of validating all of these. What are they? Tickets, passes? Oh, the passes, aren't they? Verifying all these passes so that people can actually view their content.
Yeah. I think that's probably what they're going to be doing from now on. I don't know. Because I think they have refunded a lot of passes and stuff, because usually the passes start on sale like 1st January. They usually, that's when they start selling their passes. Yeah. And giving out their press passes and stuff like that. E3 is definitely something that has always been the biggest time of the year for gamers. It always has been. That's where we get our big announcements for big video games. That's where we do get our, extra knowledge of stuff. New
processes and stuff are sort of showcased there as well sometimes.
Yeah, the last couple of years haven't been great because we are coming to the end of the console's life and stuff like that. So a lot of video games haven't been announced, or not a lot of stuff has been talked about, which kind of sucks because I do the whole point of E3 was was it 4 years ago? E3 was that is the go-to conference for everything.
Oh yeah, it was the thing.
Yeah, that is where you announce your games. That is where you announce your fucking everything. When EA did their own conference, which I wouldn't even call it a conference. It's just to fucking make their investors happy, to be really honest with you. It's just for their investors. Right. And just to show off their new pachinko machines. Oh, sorry, their new sports games. No, poker machines. No, games. No, sorry, I'm losing touch here. But fuck EA, but they've fucking dropped the ball fucking too much in the last couple of years. But yeah, it kind of sucks that we haven't been able, E3's cancelled. I feel for the Uncharted movie, though, because the Uncharted movie has been in limbo for so fucking long.
It's one of those ones that just keeps getting knocked back and back.
They've always had some good concept, and then, the original concept wasn't good. It wasn't good. They had Mark Wahlberg as Nathan Drake, which honestly I think was still an alright pick. I think he was alright for Nathan pick, but then they had Danny DeVito as Sully. Danny DeVito. as Sully, and it was going to be like a family movie. It's like Uncharted, is not extremely violent, but it's more for teens and up, sort of like storytelling sort of thing, like more for like adults and young adults. Like it was more of an adventure storyline for them. And honestly, I think that we thought it was a bad move. Lucky they got canned, and then they'd change ideas, they'd can it, they'd get new directors and writers, they'd back out and stuff like. The movie has just been through so much shit. The movie just needs to be fucking made, to be really honest with you. Just whether it's shit or not, just throw it out there and we'll see what the fuck, whether it fucking sticks or not.
Unfortunately, a lot of franchises are having that exact same issue as well. I mean, like myself, I'm a huge Stargate fan. Oh, God. And pretty much, don't hate me. Don't hate on me.
I'm a Star Trek fan,
you
so...
judge. Well, I like Star Trek too, but I like Stargate as well.
I like Stargate too, but obviously, like the whole Stargate and Star Trek thing, it's like, I have to have a say on that at some point, but go on.
They're having similar issues, whereas a project will start up and then it'll get canned halfway through because of something. I mean, what was the last big one? Stargate Universe was cancelled partly because of ratings, but also partly because MGM went bankrupt.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, and I don't know if Uncharted are in a similar ballpark, but MGM won't give up the rights to Stargate so that someone else can have a go and do it properly.
Actually, I watched a really cool video on that, which I'll have to send to you. But the guy that played Jack in Atlantis, the actor, he was actually going to buy the rights to Stargate off MGM. He wanted to buy the rights off him.
I don't think it was Richard Dean Anderson. I think it was...
No, it's not Richard Dean. No, it wasn't him.
Yeah, that's Jack.
Sorry, it was Shepard, sorry.
Shepard, yeah. He wanted to buy the rights. I think it was early 2010-ish or around about that era. He wanted to buy the rights to keep the keep the franchise alive.
Yeah, because he wanted to do the actual fucking Stargate Atlantis movie that we deserve.
Yes, agreed.
We deserve that because how it ended was. Actually, speaking about that, did you actually see the concept for what they wanted to do for the movie?
No.
They were actually going to send Atlantis back from Earth back to the Pegasus Galaxy to finish off the Wraith, because the Wraith were actually building up their forces again to come and attack Earth. It was their final push, really. They pretty much got all the Wraith factions back together, and they were gonna hit Earth for one last time, and that was their magnum fucking last ditch effort. So they went back to Atlantis to try and stop them, and that would have been cool, because I mean the whole concept of Atlantis being an interstellar ship was the best part of that entire series. Oh god, yeah, it was incredible. Like that's why for me, the reason why I could I own all of the Stargate series apart from a Universe. I do have to buy Universe because, in my opinion, I think Universe was criminally underrated. I think it was.
It got a little dry towards midway through the first season, but it did start to pick up in the second season. Yeah, and the problem was that like a lot of diehard Stargate fans, they hate it because it's just not Stargate, this and that. So I kind of liked it. I loved it. I thought it was great. Yes, they did. Yes, they did steal more of Star Trek, stuff like that. Okay, yes, it did feel like Voyager a bit. All right, let's move past that. Hasn't come out that has some aspect ripped off something else these days? Well, Stargate originally was fucking, for some parts, ripped off Star Trek. Some parts. Like traveling to new worlds, exploring these new worlds, exploring new races and stuff like that. Like the whole concept of that, yes. Yes, they did. And some of the shuttles and stuff like that they had were direct rip-offs of Star Trek. I will completely agree. In saying that, Star Trek has been around since, the 60s? So, I mean, yes. They paved the way for a lot of what we have today. Stuff is understood now, yeah. Yes. So, it's not surprising at all. I do agree with that, but I do agree with a lot of Stargate fans when they say that at its core it is different, and yes, I do agree. Like, there is a lot of differences between the shows, and I do agree, and they both are fun, but my ex-girlfriend ruined Stargate for me.
Because to me, Stargate SG-1, I was like, right, I just want to slowly putt through it. I don't want to rush through the entire show. And for the full 10 months of our entire relationship, that's all she wanted to watch every day. Stargate. That's all she wanted to watch every fucking day, and I just ruined it for me. Like, nah. She ruined the ending of Stargate SG-1. She told me everything that happened when I was halfway through the show. I was upset. I was pissed off. And then I was halfway through watching Atlantis, and I was thoroughly fucking enjoying it so much. And then she ruins the ending for me. You want to know how it ends? You want to know how it ends? Like, no, don't tell me. I said, I want to watch it. I really want to watch it. They take Atlantis to Earth. Fuck you! Honestly. Fuck you. Honestly. I wanted to watch it. I just wanted to watch it. But with Atlantis, I persevered. I thought, nah, fuck this. I'm not letting her ruin Atlantis. I did thoroughly enjoy Atlantis. So I sat through and watched the entire series, and I knew how it ended anyway. But as soon as I got to the end, I thought, you know what? I'm happy. But I want that movie. I want that fucking movie. But the guy that played Shepard, I keep forgetting the actual actor's name, but he turned around and because he wanted to do so much for the franchise, which sounded really, really cool. And sadly, like he wanted to buy the rights, but MGM was like, they apparently wanted way too much for the franchise, way too much.
Yeah,
because he offered like a very, in his opinion, and even like because he also had
it was a generous amount,
and apparently Fox, because apparently he went through Fox to actually ask to help him out with the payment to buy the franchise off them. But the problem was that Fox was also tied with Star Trek in some ways, so it was hard for them to sort of go with it. But in the end, they're like, okay, yeah, all right, well, we think Stargate's worth this much. We don't think it's worth a lot, but it is worth a fair bit, because it is still a very favoured fucking franchise and stuff like that.
Wasn't David Hewlett willing to chip in as well? The guy that played Rodney McKay?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He's even been in a lot of like fan-made stuff too, which has been all right as well.
If you check out half of his Twitter and stuff, there's so much Stargate reference in there.
Oh yeah, he's a massive Stargate fan.
He just breathes it.
Oh yeah, well he was a massive Stargate fan before when the show first started, and then when he was offered to come onto the show, like for those couple episodes, like during the SG-1, he apparently apparently freaked the fuck out. But
I'm not surprised, That'd be like meeting a hero kind of thing, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. And then apparently it was like when they offered him the same role of that character in Atlantis, apparently his first response was, "I don't care how much. I don't even care if you pay me $5 a day. I'm doing it." Like he was straight up like, "Yeah, I'm doing it. Fucking that's it. I'm a massive Stargate fan. I'm all in." Obviously, he wasn't.
Joe Flanagan, by the way, is
that's his name.
John Shepard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's his name. But yeah, so it's and then apparently Fox turned because Fox was going to help pitch in, and
they were interested. Yeah,
and they were going to work with Joe Flanagan and David Hewlett in getting it. And when they were in the talks for it, even Fox turned around and said, "That's not worth that much. No way in God's green earth it's worth that much." Like, even though MGM's now bankrupt and you don't hear anything from them anymore, they still are.
We got that Stargate, that online only Stargate series. What was it, 2-3 years ago?
Yes,
Stargate
Origins. I did not like the concept of that at all.
I hated it. It went against all the lore for the other two series.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Catherine, the first time Catherine went through the gate was when she went through with SG-1 to go and get Ernest Littleford?
Yes,
Ernest Littleford. And then you got her going around through the gate and stuff on this one. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You can't just rewrite half the bloody series.
And as well as too, like it's like the gate was found back in World War II era. I'm like, no. I said that wasn't found way back then. No way in God's green earth, because they were still trying to fit because they only found it. What was it? like when you watch the movie, they found it, what was it, in the 90s, technically the 90s. So when you look at it like from that perspective, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So it's like,
unfortunately, SG1 did screw up some of the lore from the movie. They kept most of it, but some of it was wrong or different, not wrong. It was different.
Yeah.
But Origins just completely said, "No, what? Fuck you! No, we're doing it this way."
Well, they kept the core concept, which I liked, because they still the whole core storyline that happened in the first movie still happened. Right, like well, I was happy with that because the first movie was surprisingly really really cool. I loved it. And like as I said, I love SG1. I think SG1's cool, and I think everybody's favorite episode is when fucking what was his name? Tilk and what's his name? Oh, I've lost it. No, my other fucking favorite character from Atlantis. Jason Momoa played him.
Yeah, another one.
I'm wrong.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm having a fucking memory blank. He's my favorite character.
Ronan.
That's it, Ronan.
Ronan Dex.
And them two having a fist fight against each other. That was fun. That was just fun. Regardless, like I think universally everyone loved that episode.
Oh, without doubt, yeah, without doubt.
But like a lot of people, like then again, like with SG1, like when it came towards near the end, because Rich D. Anderson didn't want to do it anymore. He took a step. Well, he didn't want to do anymore. He wanted to take a step back. They got that new guy in, which he tried. We'll give him credit. The new guy tried, but he didn't land. He didn't land very well.
No.
So but then again, but look, the show went for 12 seasons, so it wasn't like it was a crap show by any means. So, but for the most part, it's like the Uncharted movie at the moment. It has been sort of in that limbo when it comes to like stuff like, as I said, Stargate, and it's like it's one of those things that. But at least we know the Uncharted movie is happening at some point. Like we are,
as long as the network the company that holds the rights to that don't do an MGM.
Well, see, Sony has pretty much just said that this script, this cast that we've got right now, we're going with it. Simple as that.
Yeah, they've just paused it, haven't they? They haven't cancelled. They've just paused it.
No, well, Sony had pretty much just said outright that if the movie doesn't get made, they're going to make it themselves with that script. They'll buy the script off them. They will hire the two actors like Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland for the movie, and that's it. Flat out, that's it. They're not hearing any ifs or buts about it. They're going along with it because they want to do the movie.
Thing.
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
Yeah, of course it is. It is a good thing, and I think Tom Holland's a great pick for a young Nathan Drake. Have you actually played the Uncharted games by any chance?
No.
Well, you got a PS3 still, don't you? Or do you?
Oh no, I sold that years ago.
All right. Do you have a PS4 then?
Nope.
Right. Okay. Well, if you do end up buying a PS4, right?
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Fine. But if you do, if you do, get the Uncharted collection and Uncharted 4 on PS4. You have to. It's a must. Those games are fucking phenomenal. The first game has aged quite a bit though because it was a launch title for the PS3, so it has aged pretty poorly. But the game itself, like the concept and the story and the game itself wasn't half bad. The second game was just outright, hands down, phenomenal. Like, you just couldn't fault it. And the third game was alright. It wasn't too bad. It was a little bit of a step back storytelling-wise, but for the most part, it was great. But I will admit, the third game had the best chase scene I've ever seen in any movie or show or video game ever in my entire life. The best chase scene ever. Most high-octane and interesting and awesome chase scene I've ever seen. It was excellent. But, and the fourth game just ended the fucking whole entire franchise just perfect. Like, again, 4 was just, you could not fault it whatsoever. 4 was perfect from the start to the finish. There was no missed beat whatsoever. So the fourth, so I highly recommend. And in my honest opinion, it is worth buying a PlayStation 4 just to play all 4 of those games. And also The Last of Us too. Don't forget The Last of Us. The Last of Us needs to be played too.
The Last of Us was a good game.
Oh, fuck yeah. Naughty Dog do make really good games. I am a little worried about The Last of Us 2, which we will get into that storyline now. But
Perfect segue.
Perfect segue. But before I get into the article, I am a little worried about The Last of Us 2, where they're going with Ellie's story, though, because she really seems like a bitch. Oh, real right, bitch.
Oh, yeah?
So, did you watch the E3 trailer they showed not last year, the year before? Or was it last year? Might have been last year.
I don't think so.
The trailer showed off, was it them at a party, like a wedding sort of thing, right? And Ellie is talking to this guy, right? He's going, and he keeps, looking at his ex-girlfriend and stuff like that, he keeps looking over her way, and Ellie's going to him, comforting him, going, look, it's okay, it's fine, you guys will get back together, you always get back together, it's always been the case, you guys are just too inseparable. Yeah, I know, but, she's trying to be nice to him, right? He walks away. She goes over to his ex, and they start dancing with each other, and they start tonguing each other in the middle of the fucking dance floor.
Jeez, okay.
How fucking bad is that? How fucking wrong is that? That's just bad. How much of a bitch are you to do that?
That's a bit full on.
So, it's I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to like Ellie in this, which kind of sucks. But I am a little disappointed because I wanted them to do 3 stages of Ellie, really. Obviously, the first game is her as a little kid. I wanted them to do a second game, still playing as Joel, but her as a teenager. And her going through her teenage stuff throughout that game. The rebellious and stuff like that in an apocalypse like this, to see how that would have gone with it. And I think it would have been really interesting to see. But then go with the adult version of Ellie. But they've jumped straight from one over to straight from her as a kid straight to an adult. Which, if you want to do that, that's fine. But I would have liked to have that little in between, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think that we probably will in the second game see some of her teenage years. I think. I don't think they won't show any of it. To be really honest, I think I'd like to show what happened between the end of the first game and the beginning of the second game a bit. Show what's been happening, as she was growing up and stuff like that. I think they'll still show some of it. But yeah,
I hope that they'll touch on some of those more exciting years of being a person.
I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out anyway when it launches anyway. I'm definitely going to be playing the second one. I've already pre-ordered it. I will play the second Last of Us 2. It is a game that I will play regardless of probably what I think, because I do thoroughly enjoy the first game, and even the multiplayer was surprisingly interesting and surprisingly well done. So I will see where it goes anyway in the end with it. But apparently, The Last of Us 2's delay reportedly led to sustained crunch, not less crunch. When The Last of Us 2 was delayed, crunch continued unabated, rather than subsiding, according to a report on the game developer. In a wide-ranging report on crunch culture at Naughty Dog, Kotaku spoke to anonymous developers at the studio who discussed the effects of the game's delay from February to April. The main plot points being that crunch would subside as a result of the extra development time. I know that was one of the big issues with it. Okay, was it Fonzie said The Last of Us was the best game I've watched someone stream. Yeah, like for me, obviously I had a PS3 at the time, so I was able to play The Last of Us myself, and as you said, you played it yourself, didn't you, Primus?
No, I haven't played it, but I've watched someone stream it.
Yeah, and it is incredible. The game is phenomenal, hands down phenomenal. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But back to the article was one developer explained people thinking the extension is somehow to relieve stress or workload on the team are wrong. The first thing that they wanted to reiterate is that we aren't slowing down the pace. Bullshit. The report does not make clear that some Naughty Dog staff are apparently relieved that the game was delayed from its February release date, as it would have been a mess at the time. It also makes clear that many at Naughty Dog are in favour of, or at the very least accept, the crunch from the studio, famous for its perfectionism.
Which is perfectly fine.
Which is perfectly fine, yes. But, I call bullshit on the crunch of slowing down crap. Because usually when a game's delayed, companies do slow down and they do feel a little bit more at ease because they have a bit more time to work on a game. It just is. It's just simple fucking... It's just how people are, really. To say the least. But honestly, look, I'm happy with delays, honestly. Unless you were DayZ back in the day, because DayZ, for the love of fucking God, why would you...
Oh, God. Don't go there.
Why would you announce, right, the standalone, make it look like a finished product, right, when there was still fucking mounds of work that needed to be done to the game, mounds and mounds and mounds of work that needed to be done, right, and yet, just leave it, and then just release it because everyone was frustrated, so where's the game? It looked finished to us. It definitely looked finished to us. How about we playtest it? People that playtested it said that the game felt like a finished product. And then when the game was released, all the bugs, all the glitches, half the content that was the testers were playing weren't there. It's like the whole thing just fell apart.
The engine was crap.
Yeah, that too.
You couldn't get over 19 FPS, no matter how beefy your machine was.
No, that's exactly right. And it became to the point where it was just a joke. So I'm happy with delays. I'm happy.
Yeah. If it makes for a better end product, delays are 100% justified, in my opinion. I mean, you can't fault anybody for wanting to put out a good product if that's the reason for the delay.
But DayZ is a finished game? No, it ain't.
Well, it is a 1.0 release, so technically...
Technically, quote-unquote, by Bohemia standards, it's finished, but in reality, it's far from it.
Well, yeah, but that's just Bohemia, though. I mean, have you played Arma 3 lately?
Yeah, but, the thing is, though, when it comes to these, Bohemia games, they rely on the modders heavily. They just do. And the thing is, just remember, modders have only been able to have influence on DayZ in the last 3 years.
Less than that, isn't it?
No, 3 years. It's only been 3 years. That was it. The one of the reasons why I came back to DayZ was because modding was in for 6 months. People were able to bring in mods.
Yeah, well, people worked out how to do the mods before Bohemia, fully, disclosed the modding procedure. And again, it's one of the things that saved the game. It was just the fact that it was something that actually we could put into the game that, kind of worked, but... I mean, DayZ is not DayZ without broken bones. I'm just putting that straight out there here and now. It's not. And that was a feature that was in the early beta, and they removed it. And I don't even think... Have they even added that back yet? They haven't, have they?
It's not in the base game.
No, it's added via... Was it medical attention?
Yeah, something like that.
Something along those lines, yeah.
It's a mod.
A lot of the original stuff that made DayZ is not, and I don't even like referring to the standalone as DayZ because there's just so much from it missing. Content that made DayZ, like
DayZ mod DayZ, yeah.
Statuses, it's yes, I understand. You got to move with the times and make it more modern and that sort of stuff. But I mean, if you're building off of something, you've got to keep at least. A sizable chunk of what made that game so popular in the first place.
Well, hell, you look at the BBP mod now, right? We are now one step further to Epoch. We already have the traders. We already have like banks and stuff like that in the game that are modded in. We already have again building bases wherever you want, which is a fucking awesome idea in my honest opinion.
I'm pretty sure there's mission systems as well.
Yes, but
supply drops,
yes, but we don't have NPCs yet.
No,
that's the only thing. That's the only thing missing.
No NPCs that have an actual AI behind them.
No. So honestly, I don't know what I don't know why a lot of people haven't actually copied a lot like the AI from Arma 3 onto player models into DayZ, unless they are doing it now. Like some modders doing it now, but I think when they do that, we have Epoch. Simple as that. We have Epoch, hands down, and I'd be forever happy with that. Because, in my honest opinion, Epoch was one of the fun aspects of DayZ, in the end. Vanilla DayZ will always stick very close to my heart. It always will be, right? I love Vanilla DayZ, DayZ mod, I'm saying, will always be a big love of mine. Right?
Well, yeah, that's where it started. You always loved the origins.
Back when I came back onto DayZ standalone, when I came back just before I joined the AS well before even you only joined recently. For me, I felt at that current state of the DDU, even with the mods and stuff like that they had at the time, it felt like Vanilla DayZ again, like Vanilla DayZ mod, and I was having so much fun with it because it felt so much like it. It just did. But now the DDU's gone sort of downhill a bit. Look, that's only because for me, I do like the hardcore element of things. Yeah, I do see where they want to go with it all, but me, I do like a little bit of flexibility. I do like a little bit of easiness. At the moment, it is way too hard. I know that's their intention, but for me, it is way too hard to find things. Way too hard. Beyond hard. Beyond realistically hard standards. See, for me, you should still be able to find a lot of food in... You should be able to find food all the time in supermarkets and corner stores and stuff.
You shouldn't need a Zerg to survive.
No, you shouldn't. I'm okay with the diseases, even though they are a little bit overboard. But that's the mod, not the standalone, not their sort of doing.
See, I'm more good with being hit by a zombie and getting disease. That makes sense,
Yeah.
Or if you pick
drinking dirty water,
dirty water, I think makes sense as well. I don't know when it rains. You friggin' die extremely quickly because that one is unrealistic to me. The not sleeping by a fireplace, you get sick. That one again doesn't make sense to me. If you're dry, you should, in theory, should be warm. Why would you get sick?
Yeah. Why would you get sick? That's exactly it. And
eating non-cooked food, well, that makes sense. Salmonella or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are some aspects of it which are a little bit over the top, in my opinion.
When you go to military bases, you only find bits and bobs. It's when you go to a military base, you expect to find at least one gun. At least one gun. I'm not saying flood the fucking flood those things with the military areas with lots of guns stuff. Because it's not a PvP server, it's still got to be survival based. I get it. I'm understanding of that. But they've got to ease off a little bit. Ease off that pedal
even if it's just low tier shit,
That's exactly right.
9 mils, Glocks or whatever, that sort of stuff. Well, carries less ammo, takes a little bit longer to reload, that sort of thing. The likelihood is that in an army installation, you're going to find a bit of that shit. Yeah,
you are, and you are going to find MREs and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're not going to find full-on AS-50s and all of that sort of, the big guns, because they've probably already been looted before. You might come across one. But yeah, the balance on what you should find in those places is a little bit too lean.
Yeah,
I reckon.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But for the most part, it's that's the whole concept. But honestly, I think The Last of Us 2, like having their delay isn't a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. It's good to have a bit of delay.
As long as the delay makes the end product better.
Yes, yes, as long as it does. Anyway, moving on. Let's have some ninja bashing. Apparently, he donated $150,000 to the COVID relief. Okay, dickhead. All right.
Sorry, kid. You ain't got nothing on bloody Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, look, like, the thing is, though, with that man, right, like, he has to have his name plastered somewhere in the week. He has to.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I think every time that man's name is mentioned, and it's a running joke on this podcast, I have a funny feeling every time his name's mentioned, he comes a little.
Oh, probably.
Every time an article is written about him, he comes a lot. It's like, oh, God, they're talking about me. Oh, God. Oh, no one's talked about me in a week. Oh, well, that means I have to satisfy my wife this week. Let's do something. Let's do something that'll fucking get the media talking about me.
He would love Twitch's little snafu with his old channel.
Oh, well, that was interesting, to say the least. But yeah, it's become a joke, to say the least. It's become a joke with him. Next thing that was announced was the original Blade Runner video game is being enhanced and coming out on PS4 and the Switch. I didn't even know at the time they made a Blade Runner game, but it'd be something that I'll actually definitely look into if it ever comes out on PC. Maybe if it doesn't come out on PC, I'll buy it on PS4 to check it out. Next thing we'll talk about is Division 2 has some new updates on the the game. At the moment, they fixed a damage bug, which was fucking insane. You were able to go on a turret, which gave you a bit of a damage XP, a damage buff, right? But what it didn't realize was that if you kept doing it over and over and over again, it actually, it
stacks, did it?
Yeah, it stacks. It stacked and stacked and stacked and stacked, and it's not a time thing. It stayed with you for the entire fucking till you logged off the game. It was a bug that was very, very, very exploited. And thank you, Umbra, for the $1.21 donation. Ninja should have donated more. The man's worth like 20 million, I think. Last time I checked, he makes like he makes like a couple of million a month. So it's interesting to see, to say the least, anyway. Back to the Division 2 patch. Like, yes, that fixed it. Thank fucking God it needed to be fixed. What else? They also fixed some bugs with the Stadia as well. They also brought in the cross-platform play when it came to the Stadia and the PC. So the PC are able to cross-platform play with the Stadia now, which is good. It's in a good state at the moment. Jado says Ninja's net worth is like 10 million. Yeah, I kind of gathered it was about 10 million, 10, 15 million around. I said 20 million to be generous, I suppose. There's 3 more. I didn't know. I haven't been on today to see if there was any more damage glitches. Fuck me. There is 3 more damage glitches. Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm going to say this now. Massive and Red Storm, for the love of fuck, fix your shit. Honestly, fix your shit. Like, when the expansion launched, right, Primus, right, I even made a video about it, right? Everyone was clapping at this mission giver, because you had to go to this mission giver to unlock the next stage of your fucking progression in the DLC, to the story. That was bugged. You couldn't progress. So progression in the entire fucking expansion for the first 2 days was bugged. Oh, yeah, and an armor glitch that allows you to get 24 million shield health. Oh, shit. Okay, that's going to be something I'm going to have to look into and I'm going to have to talk about next week. Because...
Don't they hire testers?
Hmm?
Don't they hire game testers?
Look, honestly, their testers are fucking useless as shit. They get a lot of YouTubers to test it. And a lot of these YouTubers, believe it or not, don't test half of the shit that the players find.
Well, no. They're only interested in making content.
Well, they're only interested in the fucking shit that they want.
Exactly.
Which what made fucking Div 1 fucking... Like in pretty bad states for a long period of time. Yeah, the damage... Yeah, I know the damage glitch has been out for a couple of months. You guys, like, because I've been playing... For people that don't know, I've been playing with JDOS again and Umbra as well with the Division 2 at the moment lately. And, yeah, I didn't know about this damage glitch, obviously, because I've only just come back recently. But, yeah, like they've been saying to me for the last couple of months that this damage glitch has been coming in. You're all welcome to come onto the podcast, by the way, if you want to explain more, JDOS, if you like. I'm willing to give you the Discord information. You come in and explain it a bit more, so at least we're able to sort of get a bit more information on it now. So you've probably, because you've been playing a bit longer than I have for the last couple of months, so I've been sort of a bit out of the loop with everything that's been going on.
Slacking off.
Well, yeah, I have been. It's been one of those things that's been very how do I put it? Bad, to say the least. I'll send JDOS the server invite anyway, just in case he does want to come in. Well, JDOS, there he is. Sent to him. He wants to come in and have a chat about it. But yes, yeah. For me, this damage glitch needs to be fixed. But I'll quickly go over what they have done. What was it? One of the most substantial bugs that has plagued the game since that launch involves players mainly resetting seasonal manhunts, with some players reporting that they lost progress, or that the game failed to properly calculate it. This update disables the ability for players to reset the manhunts until publisher Ubisoft can develop a final fix for later in March. It has also fixed the issue of certain encounters with giving players too many keys. Apparently, that's a thing. That's yeah. Jador said he's not going to come on tonight. That's fine. That's all good, man. But thanks for that small little tidbit, anyway, man. That's greatly appreciated. The full patch notes. I'll put the patch notes in here because I'm not going to read all of them. At the moment, some of the patch notes have been pretty decent, pretty good. Then again, like as I said, like we still got the damage bug apparently now, so that'll be something I'll have to go on tonight and find out for myself. What other aspects they've done with it? Like, but the one that I knew of was there was the turret specifically that gave you that damage buff, and then you were able to just it would stack, and then it would stack to the point where you'd have that damage buff for out your entire run through till you logged off or quit the game. So it was very much bad. Like, great for farming if you want to farm fucking legendary and hardcore like and heroic missions. Like, sure, great fun because it's a breeze. But it is a glitch that does need to be fixed. It does need to be sorted out, and for the most part, it is a game-breaking thing because that damage also crosses over to PvP as well, Primus.
Oh, really?
So, say like you do 5 million base damage, like normally, right?
Yeah.
Which is a lot of players can get up to, right? Now, now having that bump up with this original glitch that I know of, that I don't know about these new ones yet, imagine bumping that up from that to about 30 or 40 million.
It's a bit over the top.
It's extremely over the top. So imagine going into the Dark Zone, which, yeah, the player versus player, people drop pretty easily. But imagine using, like, just a pistol, for instance, and there's just one shot and you're down. That's fucked.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit excessive.
like it's bad enough that that there's one shot like rifle builds at the moment where you don't even need to have that damage exploit, where it's like one tap and you're down. But again, as well, there are reasons behind that. But then again, as well, they probably will nerf rifles and rifle builds pretty soon. I think they will probably nerf them. But for the most, one would hope, yes. But yeah, like the one thing they wanted to try and stick with was like agents and PvP and enemies not taking anywhere near as many bullets as usually they used to in Div 1, which is still the case even with hardcore and heroic missions. But then again, as well, they needs to be better gear to also be able to not breeze through it, but make things a little easier. At the moment, they are still pretty fucking hard. And when I say pretty fucking hard, they are very fucking hard. But yeah, so the Division 2 needs to still fix their shit. They've still got a lot of problems at the moment they need to work on. But for the most part, I will still say that the Division 2 is still worth playing in a lot of ways. Like, Division 2, like, for the most part, is still leaps and bounds, in my opinion, better than the first game. Bug-wise, at least. But still, there is still a lot of fucking game-breaking bugs that needs to work on. Next thing from the last couple of weeks, the Resident Evil 3 demo is now released, so you're able to play that game and also play the demo for that, and as well as to the beta for Resident Evil Resistance is now available for download. So anybody that's willing to check it out, please check it out. I will probably check out Resident Evil Resistance at some point.
You have to pay for those demos, or are they free?
I'm pretty sure they're free. Demos are usually free unless there's some other games. I remember Doom 2016, you had to pay for the demo for that, and people were up in fucking arms over it. It was incredible.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Also, too, Call of Duty Warzone has been out for the last 2 weeks now. A lot of people are saying it's been bit of a mixed bag. Some people love it, some people don't like it. But they've now offered cross-platform play with all platforms, which is pretty good. Like a lot of people like the new concept with it have inside missions in the battle royale, as well as too like the whole mechanics of things. People do like Call of Duty Warzone, especially for the fact that it's free to play as well. Honestly, I haven't touched it yet. I haven't played it, but it will be something that I will check out at some point. I know that people are saying there are some game-breaking bugs that need to fix and stuff like that, so I may wait a little bit before things are a little bit ironed out before I jump in and give it a crack. But it's something interesting. What do you think, Primus, or is it not really your thing?
Never really been a fan of the Call of Duty franchise myself. I mean, like the zombies mode of the earlier games, but no, I haven't really played all that much of it myself.
See, for me, Call of Duty's always been a hit and miss. For me,
yeah,
like Black Ops 1, phenomenal. Loved it. The original Modern Warfare series, loved it. Thought the original Modern Warfare series was probably one of the best they've had to bring. A lot of people love Black Ops 2. Me, not really. I thought Black Ops 2 was lacking, like in a lot of ways. Black Ops 3, no. Infinite Warfare, please, that was a fucking joke. I can't believe I had to spend money for that so I can get fucking the Modern Warfare Remastered. I thought that was disgusting. Putting it behind that paywall. Advanced Warfare I thought was okay. I thought that had some pretty decent concepts. What else was there? The Black Ops 4, I think I liked their Battle Royale. I think their Battle Royale was pretty fun. Didn't like the fact it didn't have a story mode, but yet again. Then we go to the new Modern Warfare reboot series. I think the new Modern Warfare game was actually surprisingly really entertaining, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I think the new Modern Warfare needs a lot more praise and love, because I think it was pretty damn good. I think it was the most fun I had in a Call of Duty game in a while. My honest opinion. But yes, so that's... but anyone who wants to check that out, go check it out. Let me know what your opinions are. Fonzie says, I don't like how you can respawn unlimited times if you win your gulag fight. Yeah, I heard about that. I haven't, as I said, I haven't experienced it myself yet, but we'll see where that... how my experience is with it when I do eventually come down to playing it. Also, too, even fucking the ad just there, Neo 2 is also out too, which will be something that I will be definitely picking up on PC when it comes out. I did thoroughly enjoy Neo, the first Neo game. Have you played Neo at all?
I have not, no.
Are you a Dark Souls fan at all?
No, unfortunately.
Well, it's like a Japanese sort of, like, even though yes, Dark Souls is made in Japan, but the Neo was more of a Japanese folklore style, like mythos style Soulsborne game, and it was surprisingly not half bad. I thoroughly enjoyed the first game, and I'm looking forward to playing the second one. So the second one will be interesting to see where that goes storyline wise. Definitely be one I'll be picking up at some point. And last but not least, this week, Konami denies Silent Hills revival rumors.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
That's a shame.
That was a bloody good game.
And I'm not even going to fucking bother reading that, because honestly, it's just disgusting that they won't even acknowledge it anymore. Like, Konami, in my honest opinion, has dropped the fucking ball tremendously.
Are they just wiping their hands of Silent Hill, are they?
Pretty much. They're like a lot. There are some devs, developers in Konami that sit there and they subtly put out that, you know, we really wish we were able to pick it back up again, but the bosses won't let us. And there are, like, hell, you look at Metal Gear Solid 5, like, after, like, the re-release they did, after they took Kojima's name off it all and everything. You look at like, they did a little thing at the beginning of the game where it was that they snuck in. It was them thanking Kojima and hoping that they wish him well with his new endeavors, which was funny. So you can see that there is a massive divide in the studio at the moment. Like, the game developers want to make good games again, but the company won't let them.
Studio's just not interested.
No, they've hindered them hard, which is sad to see, in my opinion. I think, like, you know, Silent Hills was such a great concept, and then you look at something like Resident Evil 7 that just swooped up the idea, ran with it, and we got a marvelous fucking Resident Evil game out of it. Like, it was phenomenal what Resident Evil 7 did. It was, I still think the next Resident Evil title they do, like Resident Evil 8, needs to be done the exact same way. Because Resident Evil 7 was phenomenal.
I wonder if Konami would be open to do a remaster of the originals.
No, they're more interested. They're more interested in their pachinko machines now and their gambling machines and stuff. Like, they showed off like gameplay. Like, when you first watched the trailer, it was like Metal Gear Solid 3. It looked like a remaster of 3, or a complete ground up remake. Like, yeah. Oh my god, this looks fucking amazing. Like, this looks phenomenal. Like, the graphics look so... Oh wait, no, it's an ad for their new pachinko machine. It's like, are you serious? Like, look at that. Like, that looks fucking amazing. Like, it was like Metal Gear Solid 5 graphics mixed in with built from, like, graphics engine built from the ground up for Metal Gear Solid 3. It was incredible. It looked fucking phenomenal.
It's a massive shame too, because the Silent Hill franchise itself was a huge cult classic, and, you know, had one hell of a following. The amount of money that they would make off of, even if they didn't make a new game, even though they just remastered on the old one, would be, you know, quite a decent amount. I don't understand why they're so hesitant.
It's because Kojima's name's on it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Kojima's name's there, so they want nothing to do with it. And it's just, it's just such a shame.
It is. It really is, because it's such a great franchise.
Then again, as well, like, for me, Silent Hills, I probably wouldn't have the balls to play it. Like for me, it's people laugh. I am a bit of a scaredy cat with scary games. Then again, I love Dead Space though. Like when it comes to like Dead Space, I mean, like, a lot of people are like, they went more action orientated. Like, yes, I understand, I agree. Especially with the third game, it went more action orientated. But in my opinion, it was still a fucking phenomenal game. 3 was great. But and I said the same thing about 2, but I thought, well, no, 2 had some pretty horrific moments in it. Some very, very horrific moments in it. I remember one specific scene when you first see those fucking exploding, like, infected babies.
Oh, yeah, those are...
Oh, yeah, like when you first saw them in that, like, in the nursery. and you saw that fucking like ripped up fucking nurse walking over, just walk straight up to it to pick it up, and the baby just jumps on it, just blows the fucking whole fucking thing, like warming up into fucking just nothing. All you saw was just fucking red all over the fucking screen. Like, oh Jesus fuck! Just tears into him. Like, oh my god! Like it's just like they still had fucking tension moments in 2. 2 was just fucking amazing. Same as 1 and same as 3. Like I think the whole trilogy of games I think were done very well, very well.
They really were.
And then when you look at like you look at Resident Evil, for instance, like Resident Evil, in my opinion, had their scary moments, but I didn't jump out of my skin. But 7, like I was scared to play it, and I was shaking like a leaf playing through a whole entire game. But when I got to the end credits, I was in awe with how amazing it was. And how thoroughly entertained I was with 7. Because when they first released stuff about Resident Evil 7, I'm looking at going, I don't know. I don't like this. It just feels like a haunted, like a horror, like a house of crazies. That's what it felt like to me. And how's it going, Ike J? How's it going? Fucking getting rid of me on Discord? Yeah. We need to have a chat to catch up soon, man. I've been missing fucking chatting to you, man. You know? But, you know, upsetting that you've pushed me away. I miss you. But for the most part, when it comes back to Resident Evil 7, though, I was very scared. Very, very, very scared, man. Very, very scared. And then, when the game came out, and a mate of mine was like, no, pick it up. Play it. You need to play it. Like it is Resident Evil. I don't know. I was like very skeptical to jump in on it. I'm like, all right. I said I'll dive in and I'll play it. And I played it. I just had no regrets, none at all. It's like, yep, that was a Resident Evil game. 100% Resident Evil. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. It was incredible what they did. And it scared the mother was the one that fucking that eared me out the most. It was her from the start. I just like the father I could deal with, and when you got to the mother was like, okay. The mother I just was scared shitless. But the son, I was real laid back. I was like, yeah, this is all right. I'm okay with this. I'm all right. It's okay. I'm all right with this now. Like I had a bit of ease with the brother, like the son. It was all right, but I had a lot of fun with Resident Evil 7, and I think Resident Evil 7 should be played. And the remake of the old song "Don't Tell Aunt Rudy,"
yep,
was perfect. It was a perfect song to play, and the theme song for the game. It was the song was perfectly eerie. It was perfectly scored, perfect in every which way. In every which way, I loved Resident Evil 7, and it sucks to see that Resident Evil 7 got that limelight in the end, and Silent Hills wasn't the game that got the first kick in for the limelight. It is a shame. It is very much a shame.
It's a shame that, I'm not going to make any more.
No, that's exactly right. Anyway, yeah, well, Ike J, please hit me up, man. I'd like to catch up with you at some point. Yes, thank you for coming on, Primus. It's been a great near 2 hours. It's been awesome having you on the podcast, and great having Vesp on for the first fucking 5 minutes and then pisses off again.
No worries, buddy.
It was good having you on, man. I hope you enjoyed yourself for the most part. You know, yeah. So, obviously, thanks again, everyone, for coming on to the podcast. I know it had been 3 weeks. I understand with everything that's been going on. Work has been fucking on my ass. Me coming home, it's like I've been wanting to do the podcast, and then it's been like, fuck. It's just I just haven't had the energy to do it. But today, I thought, fuck it, I want to do the podcast tonight. It's been great. Fonzie says, Oh, fuck you, Fonzie. It's great to have Primus on and not only have to listen to Nico the whole time. Fuck you.
Perfectly fair to me.
Arsehole, Fonzie. But anyway, thank you everyone that's cheered and that's donated to the podcast tonight. It's not a lot, but anything's been greatly appreciated. And thank you to the new people that have followed my channel. I know most of you are from my DayZ, from DayZ, and thank you for that. Thank you for coming along, supporting my channel in some shape or form. Thank you very much. I'll actually bring it out. Hey Joker, how's it going? I'll read out the names. So Primus, you're one of them. Thank you very much for following to my channel. Sturtles, thank you very much, man. Greatly appreciated. Where else? Brooks NZ, thank you very much for the follow, man. Greatly appreciated. COVID-19, love the name. Thank you for the follow, mate. Hex74, thank you for the follow as well. The unusable, sorry, what's us alone. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but thank you very much for the follow. Thank you, Bingo, for the 10 bits. Thank you, Fonzie, for the 5 bits. And thank you, Umbra, for the $1.21. That would be greatly appreciated. So, thank you again, Primus, for coming on. Would you like to promote anything of yours? Because I know you have a stream that you'd like to plug.
Nah, I'm good.
Well, I'm going to plug you anyway. Primus has the Primus New Zealand, Primus NZ does have a Twitch channel. Please go and check him out. Greatly appreciated. He is a good guy, a good top bloke. But anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for coming along to the podcast today. And hopefully next week, I'll see everyone next week. If not next week, maybe the week after. Thank you very much, everybody. Take it easy.
So.